Hi guys, and welcome to a new episode on this channel. Today we'll be talking about the third chapter of the Lincoln, the photobiography. Now in my other videos it's going to be about chapter 1 and chapter 2. Check those out if you haven't. And now we're talking about chapter 3, laws and politics. And now let's get into it. What is laws and politics, by the way? Well, laws and politics are all of those subjects that lawyers and politicians do, and also councils and all those stuff. But I don't really want to be a lawyer or politician or all those stuff. Now Abraham Lincoln was actually a standard and also a politician. He even worked on Congress. And later we aren't there yet, but still, yeah. First of all, in this chapter, Lincoln just went to Speed's room, like not this speed, but something else. And also, he found a political ally. He found a political ally which is pretty rich, called the Todds, and then he found Mary Todd, and he became crazy with her, and she was crazy with Abraham. And then they were in love and then talking to each other, blah, 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 all those stuff. But when the Todd family found out that they wanted to marry, they were like, no way we're going to let you marry Abraham Lincoln. Sure, he might be a good political ally, but not a suitable husband for Mary. Even the brother-in-law didn't say no, even say no. But the only thing is, but later the engagement was broken off. But after 15 months, after a year and 3 months, they had another reunion. They saw each other again, and they told Mary's parents, we are gonna marry each other no matter what. And then they were like, oh, whatever, you're not gonna marry. But then later, the marrying license came out, and like, what the? No! All those stuff. And then they bought a little house. They bought a little house right here. And this is the only house that Lincoln ever afforded. $4 a month. That's a little cheap, don't you think? So it's like $48 a year. Now that's pretty cheap if you're asking me for a house. And also, this is a sketch of Lincoln's bedroom and living room. Yeah. Just to make you sure. Now basically this is where most of the children of Lincoln's children were born. Tad, Willie, and all those people. All those kids. And they were born right there. But then there was also a girl, yes, a girl. And then basically it went on like this. After that, they all went to Washington and moved into Washington as Lincoln was doing Congress. But then Mary was like, no, we're going to stay in Washington. It's too boring and all that stuff. And she went straight back to Kentucky. And that was pretty, that wasn't pretty good. So Lincoln was like, I'm pretty bored here. Lincoln was like, I'm pretty bored here, and don't let the blessed kids forget father. Just do it. And he sent that letter. But then later the 2-year term was actually finished, and then Lincoln was quickly coming back home. Also, a lot of people didn't like Lincoln. Everybody was like, Lincoln is pretty, unlawful, and also his untidiness. Look at his untidiness. Untidiness is like unfair. Everybody was like, no way we're gonna like Lincoln. But then Lincoln was like, this picture, I think it's my great impression. But nobody thinks so. But to me, it is. And then he loved to bring his children to Sunday at his workplace. But his law partner were getting driven into the wall because of those children. And it went like this. I wish I could chance those boys. I wish I could whack those boys with a bat out the window. That's what Mr. Lincoln's partner said. But then Mary came in and said, Mr. Lincoln is pretty remarkable. And it was like this, something like this. He always said, "It is my pleasure that my children are free, happy, and unrestrained by parental tyranny. Love is a chain that whereby to bind a child with his parents." And everybody has parents, and they all have love. Yeah, like that. So yeah, that's basically it. That was pretty quick to me, but if you like this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to this video if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next episode. Shinhan out. Peace!